So the highest number of COVID cases right now are in children under the age of 10. Over the last 2 weeks, there's been a big rise in that age group. And with the holidays around the corner and the emergence of the Omicron variant, some public health experts are saying it's time to do more to protect our children and the school year.
I definitely think elementary schools and junior schools should be starting to look at newer additional measures.
According to the provincial database, over the last 2 weeks, almost 1,700 students tested positive for COVID-19. And this graph by a U of T infectious disease epidemiologist shows the steady climb. That red line shooting up represents children under the age of 10. Thomas Tenkate is a public health expert and tells me rapid testing is a tool we should be using now while kids continue getting vaccinated.
Particularly in schools where they've are showing more cases starting to occur. So schools in areas that have a potentially higher risk than others based on location, geographic location. I think that would be a good starting point.
Right now in Ontario, 9 schools are shut down due to COVID-19 outbreaks. Here in Toronto, Wilkinson Junior Public School is the latest to move online with 4 cases being reported.
This is a Delta spike that we're seeing. This is the Delta variant that we're seeing rise in children. How concerned are you about Omicron?
Yeah, I definitely think the newer variant that we're hearing about more and more, the transmissibility, its characteristics mean that it should be more transmissible. And if that's the case, it's going to lead to more transmission across all age groups. And if we're seeing this spike in the younger children, then that would mean that the potential for a really big spike is there.
And while we're still waiting for all the data on the new variant, Tenkate says it's time for better masking in schools. He even recommends N95s for students.
We're in that point where we need to start looking at the mask options again and trying to take the airborne transmission seriously. And the 2 ways you deal with airborne transmission of viruses is masking and ventilation.
Now, the province has already announced that every student in Ontario will be getting 5 rapid tests to bring home over the holidays. But when it comes to a more regular testing approach, the Ministry of Education tells me it's up to individual health units to make those tests available if there is a heightened risk of COVID-19. And this is something happening at schools in Sudbury where case counts are on the rise.